Coffee Break with Ricky and Richard, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Yes. And to start things off, last time in the first episode, we were just talking about how we've met, what's changed. And today we want to talk about our idols.
Yes.
And some other small stuff. So yeah, let's kick it off. Richard, what are, or better, we are just only talking about artists, right? Not idols in the kind of albums or such.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yeah. No, let's
Okay.
keep it with people, I guess.
Who are your icons, or maybe one single icon?
Icons. I gotta say the Beatles. You know, that's kind of a given. But also Curt Kobain was for me, especially in my younger years, was quite instrumental. I was like, oh, I want to be as cool as him. It was just something raw and something so emotional about it, but also heavy. You know, it was. I quite enjoyed that. And I guess Pink Floyd is a big one. I mean, David Gilmour, his guitar playing is so emotionally charged. It is something I really adore. I guess these would be the idols I could name.
So you based your music personality, or just you based your taste with those icons, or on those icons, or you basically how should I put this? Those are your icons because of the music, or because of the human elements that you saw in them, right?
All right,
because when you were talking about Curt Kobain, it sounded like it was more like a human aspect.
I think it is quite a big aspect for Curt Kobain, though I really do love Nirvana's tunes. I was big into metal in my teenager years, so I mean, it's obviously grunge, but just heavy music in general. Heavy music in general is something I actually do quite enjoy. But I think musically, it probably more akin to what Pink Floyd did. The Beatles were also quite experimental. We did talk last episode about how you said you had to shorten your storytellings. That's exactly a problem I had as well, because I thought, oh yes, we're going to make a 15-minute long blah blah. And that is probably thanks to Pink Floyd.
I think so.
So I always loved the musical experimentation that came with bands like the Beatles and Pink Floyd, soundscapes, and just figuring out what you can do with an instrument. I quite enjoyed that. Nowadays I've gotten more into folk music from all around the world. So I don't know, Cambodian 60s rock and stuff like that, just because the soundscapes they're also a bit different instruments and all that. True. But that would be what I guess I based my music off of. The
3 big pillars in your life.
3 big pillars. A bit heavy, a bit experimental, but also with the Beatles, lightheartedness. I really love how
Octopus Garden.
There's a great word in German. I don't know the English word. The Lebensbejahend. It's just so positive about life, and you're just having a good time. And sure, life can be crap. But that just kind of gives you a good feeling, and I'm trying to go into that more. Because of course, in the early stages, you're kind of more like brooding and evil, dark music.
And trying to be artistic with it, I guess.
The angst.
True.
What about you, Ricky? What has been thine influence?
Well, there's no denial in the Queen thing, of course. My 3 pillars, I guess, would be George Michael, Prince, and my 4th pillar would be Aretha Franklin, but next to that, of course, Freddie. So Freddie, Georgie, Prince, and Aretha. Those. Till this day, I think it hasn't really changed, because Queen showed me that you don't have to stick with one genre, basically. Prince still is a huge inspiration when it comes to the guitar playing. and to the song structure, George Michael because of the voice, and Aretha, of course, also because of the voice.
Yeah,
right.
the soul.
Yeah, but those are mine. Yeah, and icons are maybe sometimes son of bitches, I guess, because you try to follow them, you try to do a follow up, and you can't.
No,
you really can't.
Yeah.
And to me, right, maybe something has changed with you also, but right now I don't really chase my icons because they are icons. I really try to become an icon right now, which sounds very arrogant and sassy, but stick with me on this here. My goal is to make music to become an icon, because that would mean that I am the most authentic self, right? Because the problem with icons, and I mean, you've been through that for sure, you can record something from Nirvana as a Richard White, and maybe you get to a point where you think, yeah, this sounds like Nirvana, but it will never be Nirvana, right?
Yeah.
So my conclusion in that is that I need to make music that if somebody tries to cover it, they will be at the point where they're like, I did everything right, but it still doesn't sound like the Leroy Brown song. So that's what I mean with I try to become an icon. I try to get to that point, to have the music as authentic as possible, because then nobody can play it, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that I've heard, ironically, from Prince, saying that you can try cover my music, but you will never get there. And I thought, like, whoa, that's a huge statement, and a very arrogant one. But now I understand what he meant with that.
Yeah. I guess it's how you say it. I think it's actually something very humbling if you want to be yourself, because it takes a lot also to be that naked, artistically speaking.
True.
To actually put yourself out there. But that's a good goal to have, Ricky.
Yeah, you need.
Certain.
Yeah, you need. I think you need that kind of goal, because your icons, they help you very much so in the first years, but there will come a point where you are like, well, I've tried everything, and I don't know why my music isn't getting any better. And most of the time I think it's because you like I said, you try to do a follow-up, but it's kind of the wrong way to go, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get away from inspiration, I think. That's
of
one
course.
thing. But also another thing I find is probably for you as well, these days, we're music nerds. So we heard a crap ton. And there's always got to be other artists and stuff that will do something, and you're like, damn, I got to do that as well. You know,
True.
It inspired me. You know?
Yeah, true.
So I guess you can't completely get away from that, like the inspiration aspect. You can't reinvent the wheel, as they say.
Yeah.
But you can inject it with your personality, I guess. That's a goal of mine as well, actually, Ricky.
Yeah.
Still kind of finding my own voice in that regards.
Yeah, and speaking of finding your own voice, what are some? That's the next question, of course. What stuff are you currently working on? If you would like to share.
Well, from the last episode, if you've seen it, we did talk about my band breaking up and me trying to do like some things that, you know, just on my own. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm trying to just get music out there, mainly on YouTube, because I got no contract or anything, which is nice. And I also try and do for each video, I draw a little sketch just to match the song. So
I remember.
that's what I'm kind of working on currently. The song I'm working on currently the most is one about rats. I don't know, I love them. I just wanted to do some PR management for those poor little creatures. But that's what I'm working on at the moment. Some that I managed to get out there would be a song called Hope Denial.
Yeah.
It's kind of a mix between Heartbreak and Dark Souls.
That's on YouTube.
That's on YouTube.
Oh,
That's
right.
on YouTube.
So we will share a link somewhere. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's one based on a George Orwell novel called Down and Out in Paris. The novel being Down and Out in Paris and London.
Yeah.
But I just did the Paris section.
Yeah.
That was quite fun because I tried to do like this kind of, I guess, gypsy soundish. Tried to make it French, but then I added like balalaikas.
Yeah.
And now it sounds more Slavic. But I love that music anyway.
Or international.
Yeah. And then there's a cover I did from some channel in Austria that does nature videos.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like the song.
And I know that one is also available on
those are
YouTube.
Those are the three.
Yeah. So I think it would be best to just put the link on the for your YouTube channel. And not single out one song or something.
Yeah, no, that's fine. There's not too much on there at the moment.
Doesn't matter.
Easily navigatable.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. And what can you tell us a bit more about the French one? How you handled that? You know, because it's so easy to say. Yeah, I tried to basically capture the essence of Paris, but what does that mean for a musician, for you? Because it's like we talked about that, not right now, but in front of the camera, but behind the scenes. We talked about the little goals, or just the different aspects that you have to basically think about it to put it on a record, right? And so now when you say you did a song about Paris, a lot of people will just think, so you did, right? It's not much work, but how did you handle that?
Well, for me, the book itself was quite interesting, because when we think of Paris, we think of this city of love, you know.
True.
You know, you've got beautiful architecture and all that stuff, but there is a very ugly underbelly there as well. And I always thought that duality was quite special about Paris. It's beautiful and yet so ugly kind of aspect.
Contrast.
Yeah. So I guess there's this kind of yearning in the song, you know, for the pretty things, but you're stuck down and out. And that I guess I tried to put in there. Of course, the book itself was a huge inspiration when I read it. It's a fantastic novel because you just he meets so many crooked and weird people in the underbelly of Paris. It's a good read, but I tried to also maybe add in that a bit, especially in the last verse, mention the outsiders, basically. I just tried to also capture this feeling of you're somewhere in Paris in a building, you got a landlord, you're out of money, you're going to go out, you're going to sell your shoes, your jackets, but no, not the shoes, you can see the shoes, but you have to make it so that he doesn't notice. So that you're still, I've got the money, don't worry. So it starts with take all your coats and your socks, because you can hide the socks, you know.
True.
And go to the pawn shop, and also the starvation. George Orwell does a great job at kind of adding this hopelessness of, you know, you're hungry and you really want to go out and get money so you can get food, but you're just too hungry to actually even get out of bed sometimes. Your mind is just focused on eating food, you know. True. So you got like no future visions and stuff. So I thought that I tried to put that in there. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
I think what you're telling me right now, I really can hear it in the song, because I've listened to it many times right now. You really captured it perfectly, I think. I never was in Paris, but
me neither.
But still I had my own cinema in my head going around, and you really captured it.
Thank you, Ricky.
Right, I think.
That means a lot hearing that. I'm glad you had the cinema experience.
Truly.
It's kind of the goal.
Yeah.
What about you, Ricky? I know you're working on some things, because you told me, also behind the scenes, guys.
Yes.
But
well, to keep it very short and very simple, right now I'm working on maybe around 7 different tracks. 4 are for the new EP, and no, I'm sorry, it should be around 8. 4 are for the EP, and 4 others are single tracks for maybe featuring acts or something like that. But the one I think I need to talk about is the hellish song "This Is How I Die," which I don't know if I can maybe put a link somewhere because it's not available yet, but you will hear it. It will be on the new EP Acedia, and the song is titled "This Is How I Die," right?
Pretty straightforward then.
Yeah, it's "This Is How I Die," and the spoiler, I guess, is that
He dies?
I'm dying, right? And I'm entering the depths of hell. Yeah. So that's the song that really, maybe like you said, you were trying to capture certain things, right?
Yeah.
And it's even, like I said, it's quite hard if you just have an idea, but you need to basically go to an unknown place, I think, because you've never been to Paris, like you said. So you were technically fantasizing and building stuff and making things up, right, to just provocate the scenery that you don't even know. Right?
Yeah. I do know the Alpha Tower.
Yeah, of course.
I see what you mean. Yeah, you have to kind of go almost into some kind of Carl Jungian aspects of these how do you call them, archetypes.
Yeah,
like
true.
True. Because Ricky did show me a preview of this song.
Yeah.
I got the VIP service here.
True.
And that part that you did mention just now about going to hell, it really does. When I heard it, I really had this hell mouth image in front of me.
Yes.
Like in the Middle Ages, where they draw this mouth consuming people, and you were able to capture that with music, and I think that's not always easy.
It was quite a ride, because I knew that when I started the song, I was writing a song about an execution. That's the very obvious thing. So the beginning is the execution, and then there comes the part where I try to fight back. Basically, I try to break free from the execution, and then I'm dead, basically. And I mean, if you're dead, the story is over. But the fictional part here was to, like you said, to capture the hell right, to capture the right into hell, or this visual mouth. And that was very, very difficult to produce, because we don't know how it sounds when you enter hell, right?
Yeah, fair enough. Can't really ask anybody.
Yeah. So, and I think to not go too deep, maybe I gotta share another story about that song, which is so cliche and so rock and roll. But every time when I would work on it with Ollie, we would always have some technical problems. Every time. And I mean, that's the number one cliche of rock and roll, the whole satanic thing, 666. But I kid you not, when we were recording the song, my guitar would totally freak out and have a huge feedback, but the amp was not even on. So really, it sounds surreal, and it sounds like I'm making this shit up because I just want the satanic song to be more satanic, right? But we didn't do shit. Sometimes the lights would go out. Sometimes my mic would have voices on it, and we really had to basically postpone 3 production days because of technical issues, and it was always because of that hellish song. So that's quite nice. I don't think too much about it. I just like that it happened, right? So I can tell the people about it. But of course, a lot of people say it's based on lies, and that never happened. But I mean, you can ask Ollie, that's nice, and that somehow I think this influenced the song itself, right?
Mm-hmm. It gets in the right mind space as well, I could imagine.
Because of the enormous feedback and the complications that I had with my guitar, after that I would always play the guitar like I was some kind of afraid maybe of playing it. I was like, oh my gosh, please stay quiet and just
keep it clean. Yeah,
play what I want to play. And but yeah, it all worked out at the end. Yeah, because
it certainly did, Ricky. I can confirm.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
Thank you so much. The song is finished, but yeah, that's.
Do we have a release date actually for this EP?
Right now, not really.
Not really. Okay.
No. But I mean, maybe come back later to the clip and write in the comments what you think about both of us, of our songs, right?
Yeah.
Give a listen. Maybe you have to wait a bit longer for mine, but check out his YouTube channel and listen to those songs, and maybe put out a few topics that you want us to talk about, because we are both musicians, and if you want to know more about inspirations or what it means to be a musician, ask what you want, propose what you want.
And if you're a musician yourself and have similar stories, why not share them? You know, we'd love to read
share them.
Yeah.
The satanic ones are just
how did you meet the devil?
True. Or maybe be so brave and share your current project with us with a link or something.
That
would be nice.
Give it a listen.
So that was our episode 2 about icons and what we are currently working on. Thank you so much, Richard, as always.
Thank you for having me, Ricky, as always.
And you want to say goodbye? You want to make the ending?
Goodbye, dear viewers, and thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.